Um, yeah, so we can go ahead and start, and we'll start the next slide. So Cellulogix is basically the logical side of cellulose sourcing and ultimately enabling sustainability. So the problem that we've identified is that corporations, we have a very time-sensitive situation where Fortune 500, Fortune 200 companies have made pledges that are to be delivered on by 2025, and they're without solutions. And these are just a few of the examples here that we've got where Kimberly-Clark, PepsiCo, and all these companies are looking to reduce their carbon footprint by 25 to 50% by 2025, which is, in their world, a significant feat given their input materials. And most of that's being done through their value chain of the inputs that they use. So in terms of the pressure that's being put on them, it's not even just their public statements. We have regulatory pressure that's come in just last year. So April 21, the European Commission has been adopting sustainability reporting directives. And then just 2 months later, the US SEC has done the same. And so everyone's working on adopting these regulatory requirements. From a capital markets perspective, a lot of your leaders in the capital markets realm, your Blackguards, your Vanguards, your BlackRocks, your Vanguards, your Main Streets, Rockefellers, even your Harvard Endowment Fund have all been deploying capital or focusing on companies that are ESG centric, ESG being the reporting version, environmental social governance. And then they're also divesting and making aggressive moves to move away from groups that are not ESG centric. And then the bottom half of that is just demonstrating that these large corporates are implementing very large divisions completely devoted to ESG and sustainability. So this is another thing that the governments have been doing. 2020, US launched the US Plastics Pact. You guys can read that later, but basically what it's saying is we're reducing fossil fuel petrochemical plastics by 50% with a goal of 2025. We've also had countries around the globe all launching their own plastics pacts, all with similar timelines and goals of 2025. So it's a relatively aggressive timeline. This is just a quick snapshot of the companies and corporations that you're seeing raise their hand and pledge alliance or allegiance really with these plastic pacts. And there's, this is a tiny snapshot of the thousands of companies that are doing so. At the end of the day, the root problem is sourcing. So Gartner came out with a report that said basically 90% of these public sustainability claims that these companies are making will not be met by 2025. And because of that, they're going to remain reliant on fossil fuel-based plastics and wood pulp. So a lot of these companies are trialing with various types of other inputs versus fossil fuels or wood pulp. And like for example, Coca-Cola has done 100% plant-based prototype bottle. They've actually made open source for the formulation, encouraging other companies to adopt this formula. And then companies like International Paper are looking to transition to more innovative fiber-based products. So at the end of the day, the solution it is cellulose, but at the end of the day, it's scalable, sustainable cellulose. And so essentially what we're looking to do as a company mission is to be an industrially scaled source for sustainable cellulose. Cellulose has been one of the most aggressively researched building materials in modern times. And we're seeing it applied in applications across industries. Though it's got numerous applications, we're very narrowly focused on the task at hand in terms of sustainability, climate change, and all these aggressive ambitions of 2025, 2030 of plastic, paper, and within that category, containers, packaging, and single use. So obviously cellulose is not new. We all think about paper being made from trees, but actually paper is made from the cellulose extracted from trees. And I'll go through that process in a moment. But what is new is finding alternative and sustainable sources for cellulose as a base material. So at the end of the day, if we're going to take wood out of the equation, we have four main categories that we have to look at: plants, animals, algae, and bacteria. I'll just skip to the point. We've done the research. the deep research in plant-derived cellulose is the most sustainable and scalable. And I can show research on that to whenever it makes sense.